Hello, I am Joey Speten, and we are going to talk about illegal immigrants. With immigration, there are two sides. I put sides in quotes because I don't think either of these sides are actually against each other in principle, but rather in process. There are people on both sides who do take things to an extreme, and they would be against each other in principle as well as process, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Before I go further, disclaimer: everyone is their own individual and they have their own reasons for what they do. So when I lump a whole group together, you may agree with the action but have a different motive. That's totally fine, and I would love to hear your reasons, but I can't address every single person's motive, so I only mention and base my points off what I see are the majority's motive. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the super fun and lighthearted topic: illegal immigration. There are four groups that people can fall into. Group 1, there are people who think there's no such thing as illegal immigration, or rather that there should be no such thing as illegal immigration. They believe that anyone should be able to immigrate anywhere, and any form of border or immigration laws is a form of discrimination. Group 2, there are people who think it should be easier for people to immigrate because they need to escape bad places and get to safety, and those who have already illegally immigrated should not be punished. Group 3, there are people who think we should enforce the laws of immigration because there are people trying to escape bad places, and if anyone can illegally immigrate, then the bad people will come along as well, and the good people trying to escape will still not be safe, as well as everyone else already living there. Group 4, there are people who think there should be no immigration, period. Those people are stupid, ignorant of how our country even exists, and are usually racist. I tried to come up with a balanced description for them, and I could not. Now, groups 1 and 4 are extremes, and you can't really ever find a compromise with those two groups, and either one would be destructive to society if it became the norm. Groups 2 and 3 both want a safe place for people where they can find refuge. They just have a different process of how to do that. Most people fall into these two groups, so let's try and find some common ground. Group 2 often hears that Group 3 disagrees with them and labels them as they label Group 3 as racist, like Group 4. Likewise, Group 3 often hears that Group 2 disagrees with them and labels them as Group 1 anarchists. I do agree that I don't think we can compromise with Groups 1 and 4, but let's not view Group 2 and Group 3 as our enemies. We both want to protect the innocent, so let's work from there. Both Group 2 and 3 want our country to be a safe refuge for people to come and live in safety, as well as have an opportunity to work and provide a better life for themselves and their family. Now, how we do that is where we disagree. I think we can agree not all humans are good people. Some people are predators, some are protectors, and some are victims. I think all of us have the capacity to be any one of these three in any given scenario. But if you disagree, I'd love for you to tell me. Now, with the predator, protector, and victim categories in mind, I'd like to talk about where our Group 2 and Group 3 disagrees. Group 2 does not think we're letting in enough good immigrants, the victims and protectors, while Group 3 thinks we're letting in too many bad immigrants, the predators. This is a serious dilemma, and we need to figure out how to let in good people while protecting them by keeping the bad people they're running from following them. But if we can have that discussion with the understanding that the other person we're talking to wants to provide a safe place for immigrants to run to, then we can get a lot more accomplished with healthy debate rather than attacking and fighting each other's character. Final words. Group 3, think if you were on the run trying to protect your family, what would you do and what borders would you cross to protect your family? I'm not saying what they're doing is not illegal, but let's try and discuss this with empathy, remembering that these are people we are talking about. Group 2, think if your sister was being abused by her husband, would you tell her to run across the street and hide in the hotel? Or would you tell her to leave and call the police on him so he can't show up and find her and be even angrier? She would be in more danger, and everyone in that hotel would be in danger too if he showed up there. Now take 10 moments, deep breath, let me know what you think, and I'll do the same. Thanks for listening.